Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we're talking about this statement right here that A$AP Rocky made.
It was all premeditated. I said, listen, I'm going to wear these wax sneakers. It was 2011 just to test to see. Because, all right, let me tell you, when I first came out, you know, I didn't know if my idols were looking at me and so I got all my friends like, oh man, you know, so-and-so wore the whatever because you wore it. So I said, you know what, let me do things that only I could do. I wanted to purposely be able to identify when I did certain things. It was almost like I put a trademark out there. So when people started wearing the Air Force Ones again, I stopped wearing it and I just said, man, I did my job and I was right all along.
And I agree with him. A$AP Rocky brought back Air Force Ones. It wasn't popular in 2010, 2011. He made it cool again for them young kids to wear Air Force Ones. That is the truth.
Yeah, but Nelly probably made Air Force Ones the global sensation. And that's not even a probably. Nike says that. Nike says that Nelly made Air Force Ones the global sensation that it was.
He
By the way, which
did.
which was actually news to me too, though, because I grew up rocking Air Force Ones. We used to call them Willie D's in the 843, Charleston, South Carolina, Moncks Corner, South Carolina. So I was always on them. You know what I mean? But even Nike says, if you go read this article in the New York Times about the 25th anniversary of Air Force Ones, they said that rappers like Jay-Z, rappers like Nelly, especially Nelly after he did Air Force Ones, made Air Force Ones a global sensation. It's actually the highest selling athletic sneaker of all time.
Well, let's talk to Nelly. We got Nelly on the line right now. Nelly, good morning.
Peace, King.
What's going on? First, how you holding up with this quarantine, bro?
I mean, it's all good. I'm doing good. First off, I want to send all my love and all my thanks and my support out to all the healthcare workers that's doing what they doing, putting their lives on the line to make sure that all of us are safe out there. You know what I mean? Like, got to say that. Shout out to NY. I know y'all going through what y'all going through, and shout out to each and all the surrounding areas. Got to know that.
Absolutely. You know, Nelly sparked some conversation yesterday because people were coming at A$AP Rocky for claiming that he is the reason Air Force Ones came back. And so Nelly started trending on Twitter. And I left a comment on Shade Room, and I said no rapper made Air Force Ones famous. Rappers were rocking Air Forces because they were popular in damn near every hood in America. In Charleston, SC, we called them Willie D's. Nelly said lies. And then Nelly gave me some information I think he should give to the people because it changed my mind a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, first off, you know what I'm saying? You know, you my brother, Charlamagne, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's all love. That's why I had to call you. But at the end of the day, we got to look at the definition of famous. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. We weren't the first ones to start rocking Air Force Ones. We wasn't the first ones that discovered Air Force Ones. No, but when you say made them famous, you got to understand that Air Force Ones was more of a New York East Coast thing. We
Absolutely.
didn't rock Air Force Ones in the South. We didn't rock Air Force Ones in the Midwest, and they wasn't rocking Air Force Ones on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Until we did what we did, you know what I mean? Air Force Ones went from $59.99 to $100 in a year. The same year after we made our song, shot our video, and had our tour. So I don't know what A$AP is on or whatever he's talking about, but if he's in any doubt, all he got to do is ask Nike.
Now,
because they sponsored our whole tour that year, and we had a whole Air Force One that flew from the back of the stadium to the front of the stage doing every show.
Yep.
You know,
I was on that tour. I was DJ with Fab on that tour. But I would say this: Air Force One was a New York thing, right?
Exactly.
When you did the tour and you did that record, you made it bigger than just New York. You took it outside of New York.
Exactly.
But there was a time when nobody would wear Air Force Ones. It was considered the old man's sneaker. Nobody was rocking with it. And he started rocking it 10 years later after that. He did. He started rocking it. He started bringing it back because I remember every time I wore my ears, it was like, why you still rocking ears for? He brought it back for the kids. He did.
He brought it back for the kids?
I think so.
I don't know. They never dipped. The price never changed, my dude.
Well, you did change the price.
We took them from $59.99 to $100
to $89.99, $94 with tax. I remember.
They never came back down, my dude.
And I saw Nike tweet out something yesterday that said when after y'all dropped the song, sales went up 800% or 8,000% globally or something.
Listen, I'm not down with ASAP feels. Shout out to The Rock, you know what I'm saying, to ASAP, to all them young brothers. I with all them young brothers, you know what I mean? But yo, we said who made them famous? How we didn't make them famous, my dude?
You did. You
Yeah,
did.
I would give it to. I would say it was kind of like a Run DMC My Adidas moment when Run DMC did My Adidas and they held that Adidas up, that shell toe up at Madison Square Garden. It definitely made the sneaker.
But
famous.
that was an
I tell it to you like this, DJ Envy. It's like a local artist. He been doing this thing for 2 or 3 years. He hot in his neighborhood. He hot in the city. He hot in the city. He hotter in the next city over. He might be even hot in the next state over. But then Dr. Dre find him. Now, Dr. Dre didn't make him famous.
he did.
It's a good point.
Okay,
He did.
that's what I'm
It's a great point.
We wasn't the first people to rock Air Force Ones. I give you that. My Harlem niggas at that time, they put me on that because I was trying to find some Reebok classics at the time, and they didn't have none in New York. And my homeboys, Party Ann and Sugar J and all them was like, yo, get you some Warren. And I was like, what, these big white-ass medical-looking shoes? Like, that's what happened. Like, and they was like, nah, that's the deal. And from that point on, we took them and put them down in New Orleans. We put them in Texas. We put them in Alabama. We put them in Atlanta. We put them on the West Coast. We put them in China. We put them in Europe.
That is
put
true.
them in Indonesia. We put them in South Africa. We put them in North Africa. We made them
But
global, my How
that
we
was-
didn't make them famous.
that was 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. But in
But-
2011,
They out
nobody
there.
was wearing them.
Once
But-
they out there, my
That's very
You
true.
can't
And
say
Nike,
Michael Jackson, you can't say, yo, when I started listening to Remember the Times, that's when Michael Jackson was hot. Michael Jackson was hot. You ain't got nothing to do with that. You can't
Hey.
say, yo, when I heard Remember the Times, that's when Michael Jackson was jamming because the youth wasn't listening to him. We don't want to hear that not after Thriller. That is a rap.
hey, Nike said that the peak of Air Force One was after Nelly dropped that record in 2005 was like their highest sales year ever. Like from 02 to 05, but 05 was the peak.
That is true.
Champ, let me tell you something, and I love y'all as more as I tell you, and I put this on everything I love, that Nelly was always Nelly, and Nelly always had it in Nelly. But New York and my family and all my niggas from Harlem taught Nelly how to be a star, and I say that to this day. You know what I mean? But this is why country niggas got a problem with the East Coast, because y'all don't want to give us our freaking credit. Bro.
We give you your credit.
Oh, talk about it, Nelly.
We give you your credit.
Hold on, my nigga. This is why Pimp C always had a problem with you niggas up there.
Hey, talk about it, Nelly.
This is the problem right here. You hear me? This is why I don't know how many people watch that Goody Mob Unsung. This is why we always got to go through the process that we go through to get our credit. Because y'all know, like I know, that if Nelly was from the East Coast, he would be the biggest rapper of all time. No.
Hold up, Nelly. Look, we'll talk more when we come back. Nelly's on the line. 800-585-1051. We're talking about a lot. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Nelly was talking real spicy, right? Now, Nelly, you said
y'all
that.
You're about to start some beef between the
not
East
beef.
Coast. And,
No.
I'm kidding.
Nelly's
I'm totally
not
kidding,
on
guys. I'm
Not
kidding.
at all.
Now, Nelly, you said
continue.
one thing. You said one thing. Now, let me say this. Charlie Wilson, right? Charlie Wilson, an amazing artist, right? Outstanding, so many different records. But we can't sit here and say that Snoop didn't bring Snoop didn't bring Charlie Wilson back to the forefront. He did.
No.
Yes.
Hold on. Wait a minute. First of all, Charlie Wilson had his own moments before Snoop was ever born. So
True.
you can't say that. The thing with Air Force Ones is that Air Force Ones was a sneaker that people on the East Coast and in certain areas used to rock. But
True.
they weren't global. They weren't nationwide. We didn't rock those in the South. We didn't rock those in the Midwest. We didn't rock those in the West. A lot of the East Coast and the East Coast South rock Air Force Ones. We used to rock Reebok Classic and K-Swiss.
Right.
That's what we used to rock, or felines.
Right.
That's what we used to rock. We didn't start rocking Air Force Ones until after Air Force One. The whole statement of "Give Me Super" came from because they was only $59.99. After my song, after the video, after the tour, they shot up to $100, and they ain't came down since. So, if you make them famous, what's the definition of famous? Widely known and achievement. What did we achieve? We achieved the #1 record from it.
I agree. You're absolutely right. You made him popular
Widely known.
out of New York.
Widely known, we raised the price. Ain't nobody else raised the price of Air Force Ones but us.
That is true.
So now, Nelly, I believe that you're right, but it'll be people in New York who'll say, well, look, you got to give New Yorkers they credit because they put you on the Air Force Ones.
Hold on. I've never said that New York didn't put us on the Air Force Ones. I never said that. I've never said that New York wasn't rocking Air Force Ones. The quote was, who made Air Force Ones famous? Famous is the word. We made them famous.
I agree with you 100%. You did.
This is what Nelly is saying.
You made it famous. Hands down, you did. But in 2010, when nobody was rocking them, he brought them back out. He was rocking them.
Wait a minute. The price didn't go down. If wasn't nobody rocking them, the price go down. That means you can't sell them. People were still buying them, and they were still buying them at the same price that we spent in 2005. So what do you mean?
So what you're saying, Nelly, is
do you think that Air Force Ones was a thing, a women thing also, or you think it was just guys really wearing Air Force Ones?
Both.
It was generational. It was the moment. It didn't matter. Like I said again, I went to South Africa on a country grammar tour. They was holding up Air Force Ones. They wasn't doing that because New York was rocking them.
So you did for Air Force Ones what Ray J did for Kim Kardashian.
You stop it, man.
Hey, however you put that, my But what I do know is that what you won't do is say, and you can ask Nike. Why? Because Nike sponsored our tour that year because we made so much money for Air Force One that they sponsored our tour and paid for Air Force Ones that went from the back of the venue to the stage that Slowdown, the man with the mask, wore during the whole tour.
Well, I would agree that the comparison between Nelly and Air Force Ones is comparable to Run DMC and Adidas.
Absolutely,
Basically,
100%.
they shouted out Adidas, and then Adidas got on board because it helped them tremendously with the Adidas sweatsuits.
And the beauty I love about the situation is white people do that to black culture, black street culture all the time. I'm happy that it was a brother who did that for black street culture, and I'm happy Nike cut you a check because a lot of times these corporations ignore us for giving them all that self-promotion.
Bro, they didn't start doing signature Air Force Ones until after we did the record. Everybody got signature Air Force Ones after we did it. They did the Sean Carter signature Air Force Ones. They did the Nellyville signature Air Force Ones. Everybody got Air Force Ones after that. They didn't do it before the record. They didn't do it before the record, even though New York was rocking them. Who got a signature Air Force One before the song? Tell me, I'll wait.
Envy? Who?
I don't know.
Listen, one more thing, Nelly. You said that if you was in New York, you'd be the biggest rapper in the world. Why do you feel that way?
Because New York is the media capital of the world. Y'all do the best out of everything. Y'all take mediocre and make it good. Y'all take good and make it great. Y'all take great and make it iconic.
But Nelly, you was the biggest rapper in the world.
That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as far as the media is concerned. Y'all are the media capital of the world. I'm a country dude. You know what I mean? Like, and when you
I get what you're saying.
You stay in the country, that don't resonate the same way as if somebody from New York get it. Y'all don't do that, bro.
Nah, you right.
Start to the hit, it's the biggest in the world, and they only got one record. Don't do that.
Yeah, because Nelly right. Because if Nelly would have sold 10 million records in New York, it'd have been like he sold it'd have been like Thriller.
Ain't nobody in New York got a diamond plaque but Biggie, my.
Right, and you were the biggest artist in the world. You were.
He right.
Nobody in New York got a diamond plaque but Biggie, my.
And we respect you, Nelly. Nelly, you were the biggest rapper in the world. You were. Nobody could take that from you.
The world because I was the biggest rapper in the world because of what I sold and what I did, not because of my perception and my you know what I mean? Like, and what, let's just say, press would have done for me. And I'm not blaming that, because at the end of the day, again, I credit New York with helping Nelly to be a star. And I always say that. I wouldn't be nothing without New York. I swear that. You know that.
And you, Nelly, you know your name keeps coming up in these Versuz battles. We was having a discussion actually here on the show a couple of weeks ago about battles that we would like to see. You jumping into any of that anytime soon?
Let me tell you something. I just need to know the rules. Are we doing all number one?
That's what I'm talking about. Nelly got records. Nelly got hits.
And I don't think nobody wants this smoke. I swear to God.
Woo! Woo!
Envy, who'd you say Nelly could go against? Was it Ja Rule? We was just having this discussion.
Y'all said that, and I said Nelly will. I said no disrespect to Ja, but Nelly has way more hits and records than Ja. That's hands down. And we were going over the records. I said that's you got to do like T.I. You got to do somebody that has more records. Like Nelly has records.
Listen, let me tell you something. I got a number one on every format except classical and jazz. I got a number one on rap. I got a number one on R&B. I got a number one on rhythmic. I got a number one on top 40. I got a number one on country. Whatever you want to say, I got a number one on except classical, jazz, and gospel.
Talk your Nelly.
We got to get Nelly with somebody on this Versuz, man. Swiss, Timberland, if you listening, let's get Nelly on somebody.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Nelly, I enjoyed you talking this morning, brother.
You just got to let me know what's all involved. Are we adding features, or we just adding our own songs? Because if we adding our own songs, this ain't even no contest.
Woo!
If you want to add in features or what you did on other people's records, then so be it.
Okay.
I feel like people have been doing features also.
Yeah, they have. They absolutely positively have.
We're gonna get Nelly in one of these verses. Nelly, man, thank you for calling, my brother. I appreciate you talking your this morning.
No, thank y'all, my brother.
All right, my bro. All right, Nelly. 800-585-1051. We're talking Nelly. We're talking Air Force One sneakers. You heard the conversation. What are your thoughts? Call us now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.